What if there were 3 simple secrets that separated unstoppable hitters from everyone else? And what if I told you they have nothing to do with your talent level or your bat speed? In this video, I'm breaking down exactly how average hitters can turn into elite threats at the plate. Appreciate you being here. Let's get into it. For those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Ian Miller. I was a 9-hole hitter from Little League all the way to the big leagues. I was just like you, man. And the 9-hole is where the next generation of underdog champions are built. These 3 secrets right here, fellas, that we're about to run through, man, they have nothing to do with talent. If you start executing on these 3 things right here, you are going to be the type of player that pitchers do not want to face. What we're gonna do right here is we're gonna demonstrate some drills and some ideas with this Civil War bat here. I'm pretty sure Babe Ruth used this back in the Great Depression. Okay, so this is the trusty C271, dude. We are gonna get some knocks with this, and we're gonna show you guys how to become unstoppable. I always thought as a professional hitter that I needed to swing harder in order to do more damage. I always thought that my mechanics needed to be absolutely crisp in order to be a 300 hitter, and I thought that I needed to be absolutely gung-ho, full speed ahead when I'm in the box. I'm talking gripping the bat as tight as I can, swinging as hard as I can, being absolutely aggressive. Fellas, I thought that was the way to make it to the big leagues. I thought that's how I was going to produce. It turns out I was going about it all wrong. And you guys might be doing that as well. When we talk about doing damage at the plate, we want to make sure we are on time. We want to make sure that we have a good plan. And we want to make sure that we know what we're doing with the baseball when we get it. We're under control, and when we do get that pitch, if that pitcher is an idiot enough to throw a baseball over the plate, pros are focused on confidence, man. They are locked in on their confidence. How do you get confidence, especially in baseball, man? You get confidence by doing hard stuff, by doing things so many times behind the scenes, fellas, whether it's your mechanics, whether it's a drill, whether it's something you're trying to execute on, that you can't get it wrong. So many times we're doing a mechanic until we get it right. Something doesn't feel right, dude. We're going through the motions in the cage, off the tee, and we finally get it right, and then we're like, okay, that's it, bro. I'm game ready, dude. I'm battle tested. I'm ready to rock. Pros focus on confidence, so much so that when they go up to the plate against a Aroldis Chapman or a dude throwing 102 like Paul Skeens, they have confidence in their ability because they were battle tested behind the scenes. They know what they're going to do. They know what they can expect, and they've done it a million times right behind the scenes before they even get out into competition. Pros are focused on their approach. When we're talking about mindset over mechanics, man, they are focused on their approach. Every single professional hitter has an approach, okay? They have something that they do well. They have something that they're trying to execute on, and it does not change or shift depending on the pitcher. Think about what the pitcher's goal is to do, fellas. When you are out on the mound, the pitcher wants to get you out of your plan. He wants to get you out of your approach. Maybe he's going to show you a changeup first pitch. Maybe he's going to show you an Uncle Charlie, right? He wants to get you off that fastball. Pros are locked into their approach. They don't deviate from it. That pitcher's goal is to get you away from your approach. He wants to get you off what you're trying to do. Pros don't do that. Pros focus on visualizing success. They aren't overcomplicating things by visualizing swings and what they're going to do with their certain mechanics and the launch angle and the barrel depth and stuff. No, dude, they visualize success. They see themselves dominating that pitcher before they even get out there. They see what they're going to do with that hanging breaking ball or that fastball that's over the middle of the plate. They see themselves executing on it. I remember Seattle Mariners minor league spring training. I think it was 2017 or 18. I got to spend some time with Alvin Davis, Mr. Mariner, and I had asked him, "Hey, Al, what do you do? What are you focusing on? Like, what are you visualizing?" And he said he never visualized himself swinging and getting base hits on these guys. He visualized a pitcher's pitch. So let's say if Pedro Martinez was out on the mound, man, Alvin Davis would visualize Pedro Martinez's slider. He would see that. He would see the break. He would visualize that stuff. He would go up there and he would already know what that looked like, right? Oftentimes, guys, we visualize things happening against us, right? We got Paul Skeens on the mound out there with tree trunk legs throwing 102 miles an hour, and we're visualizing going up there and getting blown up. This guy's gonna break my bat. He's gonna abuse me, man. We're visualizing struggling. We're visualizing failure, and we aren't visualizing success. That's not what pros do. Secret number 2, fellas, if you want to become unstoppable at the plate, then timing beats strength every time. When it comes to being unstoppable at the dish, fellas, timing beats strength every time. You do not have to be big, you do not have to be bad, you can still do damage, we just have to be on time, dude. Let me show you a drill or two, okay? Let's say we have a tee, okay? Let's say you're in the cage, or let's say you're in your backyard, you might be on your deck, just like I am, okay? We wanna set this tee up, and we wanna take half swings, dude, right? Let's say if we were to let this ball travel and get deep, I'd put this tee right here, and I'd be swinging like this. I do not wanna make contact like this, fellas. I wanna make contact like this, okay? Set your tee up, normal depth, normal distance, right? We wanna be catching the ball out in front right here. Dude, do a couple practice swings, okay? And pause at contact. We wanna see where your contact point is, man. Let's change your contact point. You wanna become unstoppable, you wanna do more damage, you wanna be a bad boy at the plate, be on time. Catch the baby out in front. I'm telling you, that's where the magic happens, okay? Set the tee up, set the ball on the tee, get the contact and pause, boom. Get the contact and pause, boom. You're gonna be hitting these balls, right? But you're going to be pausing at contact. So you're going to be taking half check swings, and we want to, boom. We wanna practice making contact out in front. Boom, out in front. There's gonna be a tee here with a ball. I want you to take a practice half swing, and I want you to hit that ball right back up the middle at the L screen, at the pitcher, like right back up the cage. I want you to stay off the top of the cage. I'd love you to stay off the bottom of the cage as well. Backspun, little line drives, right back up the middle. I want you practicing, start, stop at contact. This is where our contact needs to be, fellas, not back here. Boom, we need to be out there a little bit, okay? Drill number 2, if you have a partner, dope. If you don't, might be a little bit in trouble, okay? If we have somebody flipping to us in the cage, fellas, we want to make sure that we are on fastball timing. What are we trying to do in the cage? We're trying to get our swing right. We're trying to prepare for first pitch at 7:05, or man, look at the arms in the shirt. That's insane. I've been putting in work. We need to get ready for first pitch, okay? That's great, but we need to make sure that we are intentional about our timing. We aren't just going through the motions in the cage, fellas. We're taking flips from a partner with fastball timing, okay? When he's flipping, boom, fastball, right? It's fastball. I'm not just seeing ball, hitting ball, dude. I'm on time for a 2-0 pitch in the cage. We need to be intentional with this stuff. Now, when your partner is flipping with you, okay? If your partner is flipping to you, I should say, if you wanna work on a timing drill, this is something that you could do, okay? Oftentimes, fellas, when we aren't on time, it's because we aren't using our legs, man. Right? We're just there. Our legs are just there. We're not in them. We're not in our back hip. We're not in our back quad. We're not using our big muscles, dude. Oftentimes, if we are like too early or we're too late, it's because we're not getting in here, dude. We're just here and we're just drifting, or we're just going with the flow, or we're just going back to go forward, right? It's just, we're trying to have a timing mechanism, but we're not in our legs, okay? Have your partner flip to you. When he's flipping to you, when he breaks, boom, I want you to stand regular, okay? And then when he breaks, I want you to step back. Boom, boom. I want you to do a step back drill. This is gonna force you to get in your back leg. This is gonna force you to get in your back glute. We are going to use our big muscles to do damage. We're gonna use our big muscles to be on time. Dude, if we're using our arms, right? If we're using our hands, our wrists, right? Our upper body in order to be on time, we're gonna be in trouble. Especially if we're facing that Paul Skeens character we keep talking about that throws 102 and has tree trunk legs. Okay, fellas? Do these 2 drills, okay? Pause at contact. We want to make sure our contact point's out in front. Pause at contact. Hit that ball with a half check swing back up the middle, okay? Second drill, if we have a partner, he's front tossing to us, do a step back drill. Get in that back leg. Time it up so when he breaks, you do your step back. Break, into step back. Boom. When you get up here, fellas, step back, boom. Look at that position. Look at that position, dude. That's tough to hold. That's what being in your legs is about. If you want to be on time, start using your big muscles, start using your legs. Secret number 3, fellas, if you want to become unstoppable, it's about controlled aggression. We can't be going full speed ahead with our hair on fire at the plate. Of course, We'd love to do that in the field. Of course, we want to do that on the bases and put pressure on these guys. But when we are at the dish, dude, when we're in the box, we're at the plate, we need to be under control, man. That's how we're going to do damage. If we are flexing, if we're tensed up, trying to hit this ball out of the yard in a 2-0 count, we're going to be late, we're going to jam ourselves, and we're going to pop up in the infield. I'm telling you, I know all about that. What you're going to need to do, fellas, is you're going to have to find the balance in your swing between swinging hard and swinging smart. Of course we want to do damage. Of course we want to drive the baseball. But if we aren't under control, we have no chance, okay? Especially if that guy is out there throwing hard, let him supply the power, okay? If you are going to go full speed ahead and swing as hard as you can, A, you're probably not going to make contact. B, it's probably not going to go where you want it to go, okay? We need to practice this in the cage. We need to practice full intent in the cage. We need to practice full intent in BP. What does it look like when you let it eat? What does it look like in a 2-0 count with a man on third base, no outs? What happens if that pitcher actually throws you that fastball and you're putting your ace swing on it? Where's it going to go? What's it supposed to do? You need to know what you're going to be on time for and what you're trying to execute on, man. Backspun line drives, gap to gap, stay up the middle, man. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to stay under control, and we're trying to shoot it right back up the middle through the box, right? Maybe we catch it a little out front, and maybe we get it up in the air. Maybe we burn that center fielder. Maybe it's in the right center gap. Maybe it's in the left center gap, dude. But if we're trying to yank the baseball, if we're trying to be so far out in front and hit this ball so hard that we're making contact out here, you are going to be the top spin king. Guess what? Nobody likes top spin pull side. Nobody. Don't you dare start doing that, man. Make sure you're under control. Make sure you are catching the ball out in front, not too far out in front. Make sure you're not catching it too deep either, and make sure you are under control. If you are trying to find the balance between a swing that is very aggressive and a swing that is very smart, dude, there are a couple different ways that we can attack this, okay? We can incorporate a bat weight right here, dude. We got a nice little Varo bat weight that we could throw on here, and we could practice getting through the zone, man, right? Full intent, and then we take the bat weight off, and then we go out there, and it feels like the bat is light. That's great. That's fantastic. What I would do is I would warm up with a heavy bat, okay? So this right here, this is obviously like the Babe Ruth model, the Great Bambino model, this is the Great Depression model. But what I would do is, if this is a C271, this is a lighter, like shorter toothpick type bat, right? Skinny. Dude, I would use like a C243 or something big, right? That has a fat barrel that is very top heavy and is probably like way heavier than what I'm used to, okay? So if I was using a 33 and a half, 32 or 31 to go out there for competition, dude, if I wanted to use a heavy bat and I really wanted to train my aggression and train a nice, smooth, easy swing that still does damage, I would probably use like a 35-35, just a big top heavy boy. I'm talking, it's like a 2x4, bro, right? And I want to train just seeing the ball, coming in, being on time, nice, easy swing, boom, right back up the middle, boom, right back up the middle, boom, right back up the middle. If we are using a big top heavy bat, fellas, if we're using a bat that is way too big for us, what's the thing that we don't want to do? Overswing. Thank you for answering that. If we start overswinging with a bat that is huge, that is top heavy, that is way too big for us, it is going to swing us, okay? We're going to be in and out of the zone just like that, okay? If we're going to try to use our arms to swing, we're going to be in and out of the zone, right? If we were to use a bigger, heavier bat with a bigger, fatter barrel, or any type of swing trainers or any type of like swing weights, dude, we're going to have to really lock in on executing this right? We need to stay through the baseball. We need to stay long through the zone, but it's going to train us to stay aggressive, but also stay smart. If you commit to these 3 secrets, mindset, timing, controlled aggression, you're going to turn into the hitter that pitchers fear the most. And if you are serious about your baseball career, join the 9-Hole newsletter. Appreciate you guys being here. We'll catch you next time. Keep grinding.